Hello, and welcome to the Empowerography Podcast. This is a platform created for women's voices to be heard and a place to share their stories, journeys, and successes with the world for the purpose of helping other women who might be on similar journeys. We are empowering women one episode at a time. I'm your host, Brad Walsh, so kick back, grab one of your favorite beverages, and enjoy the stories. If you're looking for jewelry that makes an impact on your self-care routine and your style, Empowerography would love to offer you a discount code to one of our exclusive partners, Quartz & Canary Jewelry and Wellness Company. Please use code EMPOWER15 to receive 15% off upon checkout at www.quartzandcanary.com. Quartz & Canary is truly the place where spirituality meets style. Hello there, Brad Walsh here, your host of the Empowerography Podcast. Today, my guest is Taylor Lyons. She is the founder of Giving Back Canada, based right here in Toronto. How are you doing today, Taylor?
Hi, Brad. Thank you for having me. I'm doing good. Thank you.
Thank you for being a part of the podcast and agreeing to be a guest. I know we've been trying quite hard to get to sync up our schedules so we can have you on the show. I mean, I think we were trying to get together back in the summer, I believe, maybe even earlier than that. I can't remember, but it's nice to finally have you here so we can hear about your story and your journey and have you share what you're doing with the world.
Definitely. No, I appreciate you giving me the time of day. And yeah, I think it's been 6 months, I think.
Well, I'm really looking forward to having you share what you're doing. And I think the world needs to hear about this. So I'm really anxious to jump right in and get started. So let's do just that.
Perfect. Thank you.
So Taylor, you founded Giving Back Canada, which is based here in Toronto. What were you doing before you started this organization?
Before I started, I was in school. I went to York University and I have a bachelor's in children's studies and French. So I was just focusing on teaching and I play university soccer, but charity was always in the back of my mind, but I never really, had any drive to make it what it is today. So yeah, I was just focusing on teaching, and that was kind of my passion back then. And I just did side, little gigs and things for fun in terms of charity with my friends. But it was nothing, crazy.
So were you in the teaching world, in the education world, or you just finished your schooling and didn't really follow up?
Yeah, no, I finished my teaching and I was doing, I was just in my elementary school that I actually grew up in, and I went to school there, and I was just doing the TAs and whatnot.
Okay.
I was going to go into teachers college, but then that's kind of when the charity thing started taking off. So I was just a bit, up in the air, and I just decided to take the charity route.
Okay. So what inspired you to start this organization?
So besides my mom, she's, since I was young, she's always taking me to shelters and teaching me how to give back. So she's kind of taught me the ropes. But truthfully, I always give back, and whether it's paying it forward at the, Tim Hortons drive-through. Yeah. I love the feeling of surprising people or, being thoughtful and with gifts and whatnot, and just seeing their reactions, especially those who really deserve it. So I don't know. I think I just grew up that way, and it's just something that resonated with me for, a really long time. And now it's just nice to be able to do it for, hopefully soon for a living.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just something rewarding. Giving back's like the best. It really is the best feeling.
It is. It's an incredible feeling for sure. 100%. Now, how long has Giving Back Canada been running now?
So we started in 2017, but that was just, a couple of my friends walking around downtown Toronto at Christmas time, delivering care packages to the homeless. So it was just more like something for fun. But the actual organization this year, to be honest, it really took off. So it's been 3 years. And now we're just seeing a lot of donations, a lot of support through social media specifically. And so I would say this year is the first year that it's been, recognized, but it's always been in the goes and in the works for 3 years, I'd say, 2017.
Okay. So you started this with friends just by going downtown and giving out stuff giving out meals and whatnot to the homeless. That's where it all started?
Yes.
Was this your idea, or was it you and some friends, or was it just your idea and then you said, hey guys, let's go downtown and do this, and your friends jumped on board kind of thing?
Yeah, I was in my room, and I remember it was like November, and I was just sitting on my computer, and I was like, damn, I want to do something like nice for these people during Christmas. And then I called up my one friend, and he's pretty crazy like me too. He's very unrealistic. And I was like, let's feed all the homeless in Toronto. And he was like, let's do it. And we had like no money. We were both working, I think, serving at the time. So we had just tips. And we were like looking everywhere for just any dime. And yeah, we ended up getting a hotel, like the basement of a hotel in Toronto, and we rented it out.
Wow.
And just like a little event space, we decorated it and everything. And we had all of our families cooking food. And yeah, that was kind of what happened. And then we brought some other friends on board, and then we spent Christmas Eve doing that.
Isn't that incredible? The idea from just something as small as this, I want to do this, call up a friend, say, hey, listen, I got this idea, let's do it. And then it comes to fruition, and you've got an event space that you've rented out, and you've got your family and other friends involved, and you're providing this incredible thing for underprivileged people. It's amazing.
Yeah, and I think it like one thing I think people get from it is you need to just do it. Like if it weren't for me and my friend Chris, a lot of people do have such a giving heart, but they don't want to start something like this. They don't want to go out of their way and start it and have other people try and convince them to come out, and they want to follow. And by all means, they'll support your journey. But starting it does take a lot. But that's kind of where I was like, you know what? Whenever I feel discouraged, I'm like, you started this for a reason, and people need you. And, they're so thankful. And again, just with society, it takes just one person to start something and people will follow.
For sure. I think people get stuck in that mindset too, that, I'm just one person. I can't make a difference, or I'm only this one person. What am I going to be able to do? But that's where it all starts, as you have clearly proven.
Yeah. No, 100%. And then when people start seeing how passionate you are about something, they just gravitate, and they may not even believe in your cause, but if they just believe in you and see how passionate you are about it, they're going to support you.
Absolutely. 100%. Yeah. Your passion for what you're doing just bleeds through the work that you're doing. And it does, it attracts people, and people gravitate towards what you're doing.
100%. And that's where I feel I got most of my support from, was especially this year, being so like such a face on social media and just showing them, the authenticity and showing like transparency. And some people even said, they're like, I don't even believe in what you're doing, but I'm just, here to promote you because I just want to see you make it. And it's just nice to see. And then it kind of brings them out of their shell too. And next thing you know, they're out volunteering, doing something with me that they never thought they'd do. And they go home and they're like, I actually really enjoyed that. Like, thank you, Taylor. It's just really cool to see. People
have actually said they don't believe in what you're doing.
Well, not believe, but like, for example, there's that stereotype with homeless that, they can go get a job whenever they want. They don't, like, they're using their money for the wrong things. And I had a lot of obstacles with that too, back when I was focusing on the homeless community. And when you talk to them though, they would say like, hey, I don't necessarily think the money is going in the right hands. But because I see how much effort you're putting into it, I'm willing to donate. And at the end of the day, you can tell them it's whatever you feel. Then they're not going to believe everything you say, but their support and the fact that they believe in you is enough, right?
Yeah, for sure. So can you give us a brief overview of Giving Back Canada, what it's all about, and your goals for it, and where you see this going? What is Giving Back Canada all about, for those that don't know or haven't heard of your organization?
For sure. So Giving Back Canada, we focus in the GTA right now. We're helping families, low-income areas, seniors, individuals that have no access or lack of access to groceries or food. And I feel like right now we are giving back Canada, and it's a very broad statement. We're focusing on food insecurity at the moment, but we're trying to niche into, we don't really know, with COVID, everybody at some point needs help, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who you are. There's so many epidemics going on. And so with COVID, we kind of geared our efforts towards food insecurity, but in the upcoming years, we're not necessarily sure. It will definitely be partially food insecurity, but really just to bring hope into people's lives that are in dire need. That is our mission statement. And it's through bringing a community together who's nurturing and supporting one another. So that's currently what we're all about. And we just want to remind people that may not have it all, that, we're all in this together. So that is the mission statement that we live by currently. but I do hope to one day, it will happen, be global, a global organization. And yeah, it's just a lot of planning and prepping and strategizing. But I think in time, it'll happen. And I have a lot of loyal followers, and I hope it just continues to grow.
Yeah, I've followed your growth through social media over the past, I guess, year. Mm-hmm. And it's just been incredible to see. I mean, doesn't that blow your mind how it's gone from, like we said earlier, just this little idea with you and your friend Chris to what it's become now, and then thinking about where you want to take? Isn't it incredible to look back and see how much impact you've had and how much it's grown and how many people have gotten involved? And isn't it amazing?
Oh yeah. Like sometimes I take a step back and my friends will find me that I have set goals. Like I wanted to make, $15,000, and then I reached that goal and they're like, "Are you not appreciative?" I'm like, "Yeah, but we could have done more." They're like, "Hey, like you started with like $800 from 8 like different friends. Like calm down." Mm-hmm. I'm like, "But we could have done more." And I think it's incredible to see, but sometimes I have to take a step back and realize where I started, because I'm just so fixed on this end goal.
Yeah.
But yeah, like when you do take a step back, it's just like, man, like all it really was perseverance and just drive and not listening to anybody and just doing it, just going out of your way and just doing it no matter what anyone says. And that's really all I did to get here.
Your parents must be incredibly proud.
They are, but they also say, "Tay, you need an income." Because all I do is just like connections on LinkedIn, or, trying to like meet new people who are like more successful than me. And, with COVID, obviously, I had a job, but in November I actually quit because I wanted to pursue this full time. Mm-hmm. And the reason why we made $40K in 24 days was because of just me reaching out to, driving around, meeting people, picking up donations. Like I didn't even see my family at night. I wasn't even home for dinner.
Yeah. The organization made $40K in 24 days.
Yeah. So the when I last talked to you in May, mm-hmm. It was 1,010 days.
Yeah.
And then this Christmas we raised $40,000 in 24 days.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Wow. That's incredible. Now, did you have a lot of naysayers and people saying you're crazy for what you're doing? Giving up work and making money to pursue this. This is crazy.
Oh yeah. I mean, my parents, mm-hmm. like the most supportive people, but I think it does take, they want to see make an income. Mm-hmm. And so I've been creating a bit of a side hustle on the side where proceeds go to Giving Back Canada just to like make ends meet. But yeah, like they didn't really believe in it as like a full-time gig until I started making like the news. And now they're just very supportive, but they're looking out for me. They don't really understand that like you can make money off of this, but you need to be, very well known and making more of an impact in the world. And that isn't even my goal to make money. I just want to, make this a global organization. Mm. So, yeah, there are people that kind of say like, "What are you doing? Take a step back." Friends too. Oh yeah, I've had so many friends saying like, "So what's your goal? Like, you think like this is gonna make it big?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And every year they just like not reply, or they just give that face, and you're just like, I don't even want to explain myself to you. But now they're like, "Geez, like you made the news. What?"
Yeah. Does it ever get discouraging for you?
No, honestly, it kind of drives me more. I might be crazy, but I love when my friends and family do, they don't really believe. But I mean, obviously the money thing, I have to figure out how to make an income because I am 27. Mm-hmm. And I think that'll come when I start seeing more success. But for now, I'm hustling. I'm figuring out ways, even in the fundraising field, if I should work for other people or being a consultant, teaching them how I've gotten this far with like little to no experience, how to like brand myself, but also making an income along the way.
That's amazing. I mean, you're 27, you started this 3 years ago, you're 24 years old. You don't know of many or hear of many. I mean, I know there are some out there, but you don't hear of many 24-year-olds wanting to give back to the community like that and start an organization based on giving back. And want to take this to a whole other level where it's global, it becomes a global organization. I think that's incredible.
Yeah, I know. And I feel like sometimes my dreams are a bit unrealistic, but I have a lot of like-minded friends in my circle right now, and they are just as passionate, if not more, than me about this. So it's just nice to, even when you have your off days, to have someone to be like, okay, so what's the, mission today? What's the goal today?
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, for sure. And no, I don't think your goals are unrealistic at all. I think it's good to have big goals like that because it gives you something to strive for and something to work towards. And you celebrate those little accomplishments and those little wins along the way until you hit that ultimate goal of yours. I don't think that's unrealistic at all. I think you should keep going for it. And I know you will, because just talking to you, that's what you're about and that's who you are. But don't look at it as unrealistic. I think it's incredible.
No, I appreciate it. And yeah, I really feel like in the past 2 years, I've changed my circle. Obviously, I keep my friends close, but the ones that really are going to help me get to the next level, I just gravitate towards naturally. And it's just nice to have people that are doing hustling and doing their own thing. And, you just by watching someone strive for their goals, which are bigger, if not as big as mine, it just reminds you that, you can really do anything. As long as you put your mind to it, you can do, like, anyone can do anything.
Absolutely. Literally. I agree with you 100%. You got to put the work into, as you're clearly doing. I mean, it's a lot of work for sure.
It's a lot of work. It's not overnight. And I thought it was for a while. Yeah.
Well, 3 years overnight, and you're still not where you want to be, but you're getting there. You're making progress and you're making an impact. So you should be very proud of what you've accomplished up to this point.
Thank you. I am.
So the long-term goals then for the organization for you are to take this global.
Yes. I do speak to people and they kind of tell me, don't think too far ahead. Maybe start with national, which it makes sense, but I just like to let people know that that's not where I want to end. But definitely I feel like it all starts with the community. So I wouldn't be where I am today without, GTA, and I'm loyal to them. And I think if you just continue to show your love and support for your followers, it'll grow naturally.
For sure.
For me to just right away be like, oh, I want to go to global, like all of Europe and all of, the States, then, it starts with the community and it'll grow naturally. And so I just need to remind myself of that it'll happen when it's going to happen.
For sure. Just don't lose sight of your vision. And as a community, we thrive. I mean, everybody wins when it's a community effort.
Oh, 100%. I wouldn't be, anywhere without them. At the end of the day. I really wouldn't.
So this is your full-time gig then right now, like your focus. This is everything, right?
Yeah. So I just started a side hustle. It's like a home decor business online. 10% of proceeds will go to Giving Back Canada.
That's awesome. Look at you. Hustle. I love it. That's amazing.
That way, everyone's selling home decor, but I make them the customized items and crafts ourselves, me and a couple people within the team. Okay. But we'll make, a bit of money, and then at the same time, it's going towards a good cause. So kind of a win-win. You're raising awareness and then also making an income.
And what's the name of that company that you started?
It's called The Home Aesthetic. It's on Instagram.
Okay. And when did you start this?
We just launched. We're launching actually next Friday, but we've been currently making a bunch at home so that when orders do start coming in, we have things ready.
That's awesome. I love your drive and your ambition. I think it's so inspirational. It's amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, it's hard to convince people that it's gonna, pay off, but I'm glad
you just keep pushing forward. Don't listen to the naysayers and the haters and all that external noise. It's awesome.
Everywhere. I know.
You should be very proud of yourself. I think it's amazing.
Thank you.
I think it's so incredible, this whole organization, what you've done with it up to this point. How are you getting the word out there, and how has the response been for Giving Back Canada?
So we do everything over social media. I haven't even had one in-person conversation due to COVID.
Yeah.
So the power of social media is right there. It's pretty crazy. I do try and make phone calls, just with loyal, constant donors, followers, always reach out to them, checking in on them so they know that you're not just asking for money once a year, twice a year. A lot of them are my friends and family too. And I think just having good relationships with people in general as like a founder makes a huge impact. If you're a good person and you like, bring value to people's lives, they're going to want to support you, just like I would want to support people who do that for me.
Mm-hmm.
So just checking in, being in contact with them, social media, Instagram, Facebook. We tried GoFundMe 2 years ago. It worked well, but I find for me personally, Facebook and Instagram are like the biggest platforms.
Okay.
And that's really the only way that we're reaching out to people. We'll do cold calling, cold DMing to bigger companies. Again, just firing off messages to absolutely anyone and not being afraid. But making that kind of cold message very unique, or, helping them resonate with you. Not just like a bland, and making it personalized. So social media is definitely the only way I've been doing it.
Yeah.
And I hope post-COVID, we can start putting on events and golf tournaments, and then raising that awareness through like my Instagram page and whatnot.
Right. Have the big companies been receptive?
Yeah. So, again, another crazy moment. During Christmas, I went to the headquarters of all Scotia Banks, and I was like, "Listen, I need money from you." And I wasn't even a charity yet, and I'm like, "Where's your CEO?" I was like, "Tell me your CEO." They're like, "These aren't the headquarters," and I'm like, "You're lying to me. These are the headquarters." and I'm just like a random girl with an envelope with my like proposal ready to go. And they're just like thinking I'm crazy. So I ended up getting in touch through LinkedIn with like an old director who actually sent me an email tagging or CCing the CEO. So again, he's been in contact with me, and they're all very passionate about charity work, but they just love the drive that I have. So, it's just a timing. It's got to wait for charity status, but they do have me on the radar. And other than banks and whatnot, a lot of big companies are just, again, the passion and the drive that they've seen on social media. They just want to be a part of the movement. So we've had a lot of big companies and, law firms, come into contact with us and, waiting for the next event. So it's been, I just can't wait for charity status.
Yeah. So speaking of charity status, that's what you want for this organization. What's the process for that? How does that all work?
So you have to submit your proposal with the government, and then the CRA gets back to you. We don't really know the deadline. Apparently, we did it in October, so it can be 6 to 18 months.
Okay.
But I am in contact with the MP, Yvonne Baker from Etobicoke, and he's just been giving me a lot of insight. And, I've just been looking for connections of people who can, help me kind of guide I don't know what I'm doing right now. Do I wait to partner with other people? Do I wait 18 months? Do I just keep going with like the people I have on board? And, I've just been getting a lot of feedback right now, but it's a waiting game personally.
Yeah.
It really is.
What are some of the challenges you faced early on with the organization, and how'd you overcome them?
So every year you kind of look back and you're like, damn, like why did I do that? And you just laugh at them. But in the moment, you're like, no, this is how you're supposed to do it. First year, when we rented that hotel for the homeless, we thought all the homeless were going to come into our event space and we could have a nice Christmas dinner with them, share stories. But none of them wanted to come in and leave their corner of the streets. So we had to, again, take all the food. We had to go buy takeout containers, and it was just a mess. But we ended up driving and walking on 2 feet to every single person until we ran out of food. So it was freezing cold. It was Christmas Eve. So things like that, the organizational aspect of things, even this year or last year, when you have all the volunteers out and about ready to go, they're kind of waiting for you to like guide them where to go and stuff. And just little things like working more effectively, like quicker. This year, for example, we decided to post the campaign fundraiser for Christmas, and my friend had told me, no, let's do PayPal instead of Facebook donations. And I was like, okay, that may be better. Like, we're getting bigger. Maybe PayPal, like sending an email transfer is better. Yeah. And I'm telling you, we did it for the first 6 days, and it was the worst thing that could have happened because everybody and their mother are on Facebook. And when they see the campaign and all of this, like, everything going on with the the movement, they're ready to go. The donation link is right there, and you can see who's donated. It says thank you. It just highlights their donation and makes them feel good.
Yeah.
Whereas PayPal, nobody knows it went in.
Goes through.
And it was just, it's very inclusive going through Facebook. Whereas, PayPal, again, we didn't know who was sending us. They didn't know who was sending money. They didn't know how much was coming in every hour. Whereas Facebook, it showed momentum. It was showing like every time you refresh the page, you could see how many donations we got.
Yeah, you had that validation constantly, right?
Yeah, and again, it was a 12-day campaign, so everyone was like, "Oh, we have to reach our goal."
Yeah,
right. And it was just like it was really fun. It was motivating for everybody, and they would share it with everyone and be like, "Come on, we have 4 more days, 3 hours left." Right?
That's
but
awesome.
PayPal, you couldn't do it. So
suffice it to say, you're going back to Facebook for that, right?
Oh, we are going Facebook all the way. Shout out to Facebook.
But I mean, this is all a learning process for you too. I mean, you're brand new to doing this and you're learning as you go. Do you find that people get frustrated with you because you don't know you don't have all the answers and you don't know everything that you're doing? Like, you know what I mean? That you're still learning too?
Oh, yeah. More so the people that are working with me. My closest friends, sometimes when I'm like organizing for the meetups and deliveries, I don't know what I'm doing because I have 10,000 things on the go. And I'll just say, let's all meet here and then let's all follow each other to all the shelters. And I'm all about inclusivity. I just want to be with everybody. I want to meet everyone. And they're like, Tay, calm down. We're going to take 10 volunteers and we're going to go to this shelter in Tobico. You take the 10 that go to Scarborough. We don't have to follow each other. Like, there's just, there's a lot of things that go into it. And I feel like no one can do everything. And you just have to start delegating roles.
So has that been your way of coping? Then you have a good support system in place and you can lean on them and they help you and help guide you as well and keep you grounded, so to speak.
100%. I have one friend, everyone has a role. So we've done like an operational, he takes care of the venues or U-Hauls. We have one for the admin, so taking care of all the volunteers and the outreach emails. But I also have like 2 advisors, 2 best friends who just, are with me driving around all the time and just keep me sane and, humble and just reminding me that like, you're doing good. Like, don't worry. Or like, Tay, I don't think you should have done that. Like, maybe you should go say that. Like, you need those people.
Yeah,
you definitely
for sure.
do.
For sure.
Yeah.
Can you share a situation that's occurred in your life that you feel provides insight as to your character, who Taylor is?
Yeah, I was actually thinking about that. So I get this question asked a lot, like, why do you really do this? And like, what is it about you that kind of made you do this? And I never really knew how to answer that. And I always just said, because I love giving. Like, I didn't, But like looking back on it, when I was in university, I played, university soccer and I had a ton of potential. I had a scholarship and all that, but I never really pursued it to the point where, I could have I never went to banquets to receive awards. I never really engaged with the audience or my friends and family or on the team because I was in a really toxic relationship. And where I'm getting at is that I had all this potential and I was so driven and it was my biggest passion in life besides charity is soccer. And it's always stuck with me and I regret it the most is that I never gave myself the chance to be who I really could have been and leave that, that mark in the university soccer world. And everyone had so much, belief in me, but I just was so, I was somewhere else mentally. Yeah. And so I told myself, I think it helped me really build character that now I found something else that I'm really passionate about and I'm not going to let myself lose sight of that. And so every time I feel discouraged or, I can't make it, I tell myself I'm not going to go back down that route. So it's almost like a motivating piece for me. Okay. And it's really helped build, my character.
That's awesome. What's something people seem to misunderstand about you?
Misunderstand? Maybe that I just do it for the views or for the people. Because I am really the only face on social media. But I honestly, I don't listen to those people anymore, but there are tons of people that say, oh, she's just doing it because she wants attention. She wants to look good. But really, I do this for, like, regardless. I've done this my entire life. I always gave back. Again, in drive-thrus, I'm always paying it forward. Whenever it's friends' birthdays, I go out of my way to surprise them, and, you know, just with thoughtful gifts and things like that. And it's just who I am. But that's probably something that people have said about me, but you just can't let it really get to you.
So how do you deal with those people when confronted with them? How do you deal with that?
I agree with them. Like, yeah, I guess, yeah. Like, because there's no point in trying to defend yourself when they already have an assumption about you. They're almost waiting for you to be irritated and to try and say something. So I just let them, you know, think what they want. And the people who are really close to me, they really know the truth. So that's all that matters.
Yeah. That's an amazing attitude. That's a great way to look at it, because so many people would fall into that trap of being argumentative, and that's exactly what they want from you, right?
Oh yeah, they can't wait for it.
What do you think your unique skill set or superpower is that's helped you become successful?
I would say, besides just being pretty like tech savvy with social media, because that's really like, I give all credit to social media for my success. Maybe just being a people's person. I love people. I love making them feel heard and wanted, and I love interacting. So maybe just that leaves a mark on these people, and that's kind of how I've gotten the success and support that I've had. Okay.
Speaking of success, how do you define success? What does that word mean to you?
I believe personally that I've heard this quote before, but it's true when they say it's a journey, not a destination. I think like you have to enjoy the journey. You just can't see the end result like I've been doing. You need to enjoy the trial and error, the moments when you're stressed, when you feel like you're not doing enough. Because I've reached goals that I didn't even think I could reach. But then I'm like, okay, I want more.
Next. Right? What's the next one?
Yeah. So it really isn't a destination, because with anything in life, you get that nice car, then it's like, okay, now I want this other car. You know? Or you want this relationship, and then it's like, oh, but like, what could I have in that next relationship? So I think you're always going to get success and you're going to see it, but I think it's just really about enjoying the journey, because it's never ending, really.
Yeah, very true. What makes you feel inspired or like your best self?
My best self, I'd say, surprising myself with something that I never thought I could do, or that I've always dreamt of doing. That's when I feel like my best self. It just kind of, remotivates me that, like, it's not the end, and to keep going, and you're kind of doing everything you've ever dreamt of. So whatever you're doing it right. Even on those days where you don't feel like you are.
Yeah. Yeah. What would you say is one of the best pieces of advice you've ever received?
I would say don't listen to anyone's opinions or thoughts, as cliche as it sounds, just to do it.
Well, it's very true. I mean, look at all the pushback you've received from people saying you're crazy to do this, and what's wrong with you, and why would you do this? So absolutely, I would agree with you 100%. To date, what would you say is your biggest high or your greatest win?
I would say my charity. For myself, I've always been just, going on with life and partying and having fun with friends and letting days go by. But I just never, I was looking for my purpose forever. And then now that I've, found that, and people are recognizing me for, everything that I'm doing, that's probably so far, my greatest win.
Isn't that the most incredible feeling when you can say that, excuse me, you found your purpose or your mission in life? I mean, you think about all the people that never do find their purpose or find their mission in life.
Oh my God. Yeah. There's so many days, endless days. I can't even recall just what do I love doing? And what am I passionate about? And you have a list of things, but then it's would I want to do that every day of my life? How do I turn that into a job? And I have friends who still don't even know. My goal now is to find their passion and what their purpose is, because they literally do not know. Right?
Yeah. It's scary. It's an amazing thing. And then, I mean, for your purpose and your mission to give back and help people, that it's like hitting the lottery twice. I mean, first of all, you find your passion. Second of all, your passion is to give back and help people. It's amazing.
100%.
What do you think is the most common reason for people failing or giving up?
Listening to others, being discouraged, instant gratification, thinking that success or happiness will like come overnight. I listen to a lot of podcasts, and you know, again, they say their favorite thing is failure because the biggest leaders, they thrive off of it.
Yeah.
You know, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. At the end of the day, they're so wise and smart because they failed so many times. They've been, you know, wrong so many times. They've been backstabbed by so many people. So I think people just need to know that, you know, failing is part of the process.
Yeah, for sure. What gives you the motivation to keep going, Taylor?
The people. I think, you know, just the messages you get from people saying like how thankful they are, and, you know, we saved their life, or, you know, we give them food on the table, just little messages. That's probably what keeps me going.
What is your personal motto?
Do what makes you happy. Only because
Pretty
I
simple.
literally, yeah, like truly I've struggled forever to do things that make me happy. I would do it, you know, for fun and here and there, but as an actual job, I really feel like you need to do what makes you happy. For
sure. What would you say is one of the most important things you've learned in your life? And what was your life like before learning it? And what was your life like after learning it?
I think the same thing, just doing something that I'm passionate about. I worked 9 to 5, paying bills, getting a paycheck for my entire life. It was fun, and, you know, until you realize what you're really doing, you end up adopting that employee mindset. And the paycheck is like it's actually one of the most dangerous things, because now you're an employee and you're working constantly just to pay off those bills.
Yeah.
And I feel like you don't work a day in your life if you do what you love. And I can genuinely say that, because I was like going for 48 days straight with my campaign prior, with brainstorming, planning, picking up, going, you know, hassling all these banks. But to me, not one day did I feel like I was tired or exhausted. And if I had to do an hourly rate of how many hours I put into that campaign, like I'd be rich, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I really do feel like you just need to do what you love. And I wish I knew that sooner.
Well, I'd say you're still doing pretty darn good. You're only 27 and you found your passion in life. I think that's pretty incredible.
Thank you. I know.
There are people twice your age who still haven't found their passion in life. So I think it's amazing.
I know. I can't imagine that.
But I mean, there are so many people out there that never do find their passion. I think that's so sad. And I think that fear is a big part of that. Fear is a huge part that plays into it, because they don't want to leave the comfortability of their full-time job and the security, although I don't think there's any such thing as security or loyalty with jobs anymore anyways. But fear plays a huge part in that.
Oh, 100%. I know so many people who think, you know, no one would support me. What are they going to think of me? But that was the same with me when I started posting videos of myself. I would never, I talk about my friend too. We always say this. I would never be one to post videos of myself, especially asking people to like help me or donate. Like there's just no way, but you just got to do it.
You do. You have to ask. The worst, I mean, really the worst thing that can happen is they say no.
Yeah.
And so, okay, no. And I've even learned too that no doesn't mean it's a permanent no. It just means no, not right now.
No, exactly.
And you can always go back and move on to the next. Ask the next person. I find that people are more than willing to help if you ask. I mean, people don't know you need the help if you're not asking. They're not mind readers.
No, exactly. And you can't worry about what people, you know, say. Usually the ones that talk about you are below you, because I find that the people who are more successful than you, they don't even have time to talk about you. Yeah. They're too busy chasing bigger dreams and making you look stupid. So, you know, like literally, you don't hear anyone who's more successful than you talking down to you unless you've done them wrong, right?
Yeah, for sure. Who would you say are the 3 most influential people in your life?
My friends have a big impact recently, but I'd say overall, maybe my mom for sure. Just like loving me unconditionally and always supporting me through absolutely anything. Tony Robbins is a huge influence. I listen to him every morning. And then I'd say one of my friends, Roman Price, he's literally like a walking Gary V. Tony Robbins and like Robert Kiyosaki, they all seem like these like superhumans that don't exist.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this guy Roman, he's literally he's real, and yet he never sleeps. He's always grinding, and he has quotes for days that are out of a book. It's like when you talk to him, you're like, what? I have to write that down. And he's just so successful, but low key. And yeah, he's huge. I talk to him every day. He's someone I definitely keep in my circle.
How would you like to be remembered?
I would like to be remembered as representing an idea that like you have all the potential in the world to go all in on your dreams, your passions, your work, relationships. It just pays off, but you have to just go all in. Okay. So that's kind of the idea I would like to represent.
Mm-hmm. What's the most recent investment you've made in yourself?
I definitely a lot more mindfulness. I read a lot of books, podcasts, LinkedIn, making connections, meditating, working out, just things that help benefit me. Mm-hmm. I haven't really done that in the past, but I think it's becoming like a trend a lot with, the younger generation too. Mm-hmm. So definitely hopped on that bandwagon.
Okay.
But yeah, it's nice.
What does the word empowerment mean to you?
Living your full potential. I think just believing in something and not anyone that waver those thoughts can be like a really cruel world, and it does get lonely when you start putting yourself first and working on yourself. But just doing it anyway and just being tunnel visioned, I think that's empowerment.
Okay. What would you say is one of your favorite quotes?
My friend actually showed me this quote a year ago, and it really resonates with me in my current situation. It's, I alone cannot change the world, but I can cast a stone across the waters to create many ripples.
Oh, I like that. That's great.
Isn't that a good one?
That's an awesome one. I love that.
I was like, what is that? Where's that from?
Yeah. I'm going to have to steal that one.
Yeah, awesome. I loved it. It spoke to me.
It's 100%. Okay, we're going to do a little rapid fire thing here. So a few questions, 1, 2, 3, 4-word answers. Okay.
Okay.
How would you describe yourself in one word?
Stubborn, unrealistic, driven.
What makes you smile?
Family, funny YouTube memes, and people going after their goals.
What's the first thing you think of when I say the word future?
Charity, family, mentor.
What's one thing you want but cannot buy with money?
Time.
If you could teach the world one thing, what would it be?
To go after your dreams.
My favorite way to unwind is?
Meditating.
The last book or podcast I listened to or read was?
Goal Billionaire Podcast.
If I had an extra hour a day, I would?
Put more time into self-care.
Okay, that's the end of that section. Woo. What is one of your favorite entrepreneurial books?
Think and Grow Rich is huge, and there's a ton of them, but probably Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Those are the most recent ones.
Okay, give me one more. 3. Let's go with your top 3.
I don't want to swear, but
go ahead. It's okay. You can swear. It's fine.
Is it?
Yes.
It's called How to Unfuck Yourself or something.
Oh, yes. Gary Bishop, I believe is his name.
Yes. That's a good one. Charity work starts swearing.
Yeah, you could swear. I should have told you before we went on air.
Yeah, I was like...
Would have been a very different podcast.
Oh, it really would have. Let's start again.
If you could set up a billboard anywhere, where would you put it and what would it say?
Toronto, where I started, and it would say, "We're going all in."
I love it. If you came with a warning label, what would yours say?
Acts without thinking. It's true, though.
All right. Well, yeah. I mean, look, you just jumped in and started this organization.
Yeah,
but look at how far you've come, though. You should be very proud.
Thank you. Yeah. No, that's why you need people around you who keep you sane.
Grounded.
And humble. Yeah. Some things just don't make sense to people.
Yes. You got to have that grounding, those grounding people around you for sure.
You definitely
talk
do.
sense into you when you start talking crazy shit.
Yeah, exactly.
If you had a theme song that played every time you walked into a room, what song would that be?
Don't Judge Me. Best of Both Worlds by Hannah Montana.
I thought you were going to say Van Halen.
No. That too.
If you could step into my shoes, what would you have asked yourself that I didn't ask you?
Would you ever create a podcast?
There you go. Would you ever create a podcast?
I would. I'm actually thinking about it.
Awesome. Good for you. If you could go back and give your younger self one piece of advice, what would that piece of advice be?
Start young. Do what makes you happy. Listen to your mom. She is always right. And surround yourself with people who are better than you.
Okay. Lastly, Taylor, if you were to deliver your last 30-second speech to the world, what would that last 30 seconds sound like?
This is something that I started 3 years ago, but only really started seeing success with this year. You have to remember that not everyone knows their purpose. It took me years to find mine. But when we stop doing things for others and realizing what really sets our soul on fire, that's when it all begins. So when you do find that, bombard yourself with research, knowledge, people, advice, and they will bring you to the next level. And then you just have to envision it and go all in, and you can really do anything you put your mind to.
Awesome. That's amazing. Beautifully wise words. Taylor, thank you so much for taking the time to be here today and share a bit about your journey and your story and your organization. I think it's absolutely incredible. I'm so glad that we finally were able to connect and have you here on the show as a guest. So I appreciate you, and I think the work you're doing is absolutely incredible. You are a true inspiration.
Thank you so much, Brad. I'm so happy we finally could do this, and I'm glad I can start raising awareness through your platform. So thank you.
Absolutely. Once again, my name is Brad Welsh, host of your Empowerography podcast. Today, my guest was Taylor Lyons. She is the founder of Giving Back Canada, based right here in Toronto. Thank you, Taylor. I hope you have an amazing rest of the day.
Thank you. You too. Take care.
Thank you very much for listening to this podcast. If you haven't yet, please be sure to subscribe, rate, review, and share with all your friends. You can find me at visuphoria.ca and follow me on Instagram at Empowerography Podcast and on Facebook at Empowerography. Please join me next time for another inspirational story from yet another amazing woman.